Hello friends, my name is Olga. I'm a mature medical student from Ukraine and Ukrainian refugee, and unfortunately I'm telling about war, about what happens in different regions now, and today I want to dedicate this video to Kherson region, what happens there. Kherson region was occupied just in few hours after this Ukrainian-Russian war began, and unfortunately a lot of people stayed there. And today Kherson, as President Zelensky and our Ukrainian armed forces announced that this region will be deoccupied, that at least the right bank of the Dnieper River, this right part of Kherson region will be deoccupied, and they are preparing this counter-strike and they making some steps in that direction. It is very interesting to understand what happens there inside on this territory. So I collected some information from the former deputy and representative of Kherson authorities, and actually person who was born in Kherson in Kakhovka, and he lived in Kakhovka a long time. Serhiy Khlany. Now he is combatant. He is I don't know his title in army, but actually he is some kind of soldier, and he cooperate with army, and he also take part in some military actions in Kakhovka. He keep in touch with partisans if side. So let's discuss his opinion what happened these days. Yesterday it was 170th day of war, almost half of the year, and almost half of the year Kherson region is under Russian occupation. So the Serhiy Khlany says that the 117th day of the full-scale war with the Russians today, and the armed forces targeted the last fourth bridge that connected left and right banks of Kherson region, because we have on the middle of Ukraine the biggest river of Ukraine, Dnipro, and this river divides whole Ukraine from the north to the south on the big two parts, right and left banks. So cities that are on this near this river, they almost all divided on the left and right bank. Kiev city also have the left and right bank, and Kherson also have the left and right bank. And Kherson had and have still three main bridges that connects the left and right bank of the city. It is Antonivsky Bridge near this is the biggest that was destroyed a few weeks ago, and after Russian tried to repair it, it was destroyed a few times again. So Ukrainian army control this bridge and can destroy some Russian equipment once more. Another railway bridge that a little bit higher near Antonivsky, and there was a little bit in the side the Daryevsky bridge that connects a different left and right bank of the river in Hulets. In Hulets river also near Dnipro river, and it is connected with Dnipro. So it is also very important bridge, and this river. And the last bridge that Russian used to deliver food, fuel, shells, equipment, soldiers, some additional troops, it was and it is still, but it is damaged, the Kakhovsky bridge. This bridge was the most danger to damage because it is situated near nuclear electrical station on their not nuclear, sorry, hydroelectrical station on the Dnipro River, and to damage this station, it means that water from the other side will drain all Kherson and nearest village. So it was very, very dangerous to strike this bridge because it was so close to this station. And for Russians it was very good because they thought that we cannot do that, and they used this bridge. But yesterday, on the 170th day of war, our military forces, thanks to HIMARS system that United States gave us in the because of the Lend-Lease program, or maybe grant program, I don't know, but this HIMARS system, they are quite precise, and they shells, they strike exactly in that place we targeted. So because of this, these shells destroyed exactly bridge, but didn't damage this electrical station. So that is the problem for Russian troops on the right bank of the Dnieper of Kherson region, because they like cut it from their major troops, from the major Russian army that's situated on the left bank, and feed these troops using that bridge. So what is the Khlan writes next, that Russians no longer have any opportunity to fully transport their equipment. Of course, they will try to repair it, look for alternative crossing, but it takes time, money, and then as soon as we will repair it and gather equipment and strength, we will destroy it again. It means that Ukrainian army now controls by shelling systems all four bridges and all ways to feed these troops on the right bank. So if they will repair it, or a lot of equipment will be near this bridge or on this bridge, our shelling system will destroy them. And for troops that left on the right bank, it is real problem, because they trapped on that island, you know. And before, Serhiy Khlan also told that civilian people in Kherson told that on the market Russian soldiers maybe week before or 2 weeks before, they try to take or buy, I don't know exactly how they get that, but they try to collect any means to transferring on the water. So some boards, I don't know, anything they could use as individual means if there will be necessity to escape or evacuate. For them, they will use that even small boards for few people to get from the right side to left side. So they they scared a little bit, or not a little bit, I don't know, but anyway, they think in Russian soldiers on the right bank of the Dnieper, they thinking how to step back if in the case of necessity from that right part of the river Dnieper, bank of the river Dnieper. And Serhiy Khlan writes that the orcs are afraid and are preparing they're afraid of preparing counter-offensive on of the armed forces of Ukraine. In Kherson, in city, they appointed the hedgehogs. You know, hedgehogs, this thing against tanks to prevent them move on. It's made of 3 parts of railway from metal, and it looks like hedgehogs because it has like this construction and mostly it's made of metal, because against tanks you cannot use any other materials. But Serhiy Khlan told that nowadays Russians put in Kherson city wooden hedgehogs. And wood, I do not think that it may prevent some Ukrainian tanks, stop them, but it is some kind of tricking that from the distance you cannot distinguish if these things are made of metal or of wood, but you just see the shape. So the Khlan said that the wooden ones, which is principle, symbolize Russian essence, all fakes and productions. They increase the pressure on the townspeople, on the people that lived in Kherson, civilian people. At nights, they conducted searches and detained people. So they searching for partisans, for people who gave some information to Ukrainian forces who can cooperate and help them, so that they quite scared if they now they making it often and more like more times. And as a result of shelling of populated areas these days, there are dead and wounded people, unfortunately. And among civilian population, as I told you, fires continue in the Kherson region, and also passporting of the Kherson population continues. What Russians doing when they occupied some territories, they try to establish their Russian laws, so-called, and they forcefully try to make passportization of people. So they try to give the passport of Russian Federation to people on the territory of Kherson. In the 2015, when I had to visit Crimea, and on that time Crimea was 1 year under occupation, there was the same situation. Russians police officers that came in Crimea, they made this very fast passportization of civilians. All people in Crimea had Ukrainian passports, and police tried to make them have Russian passports. And of course, people, they or just lazy, or they had a patriotic feelings, but they wouldn't do this, change these passports on the Russian. But in Crimea, they did such a thing that, for example, if you have Ukrainian passport and you don't have Russian passport, you cannot, for example, get a job, or you cannot continue to work on the job you worked, because they check all, for example, people who are working on some enterprises, and they say that your contract will be stopped, and then if you bring us the passport of Russian Federation, it will be continued. If not, your contract will be stopped. You cannot get some help in hospital, you cannot get some insurance, you cannot buy anything, a flat, a car, so you cannot be registered, for example, in the local in city as a citizen, or town or village in the authorities. So Russian passport is necessary for living there, and people of course they got that Russian passports, because if they had no any opportunity to leave Crimea, to evacuate on the territory, or evacuate in the past on the territory of Ukraine, they have to live there somehow. So they of course received that Russian passports, but most of people I knew, they didn't give the Ukrainian passport to the Russian police. All of them, almost all, I cannot say all, but almost all, they try to hide Ukrainian documents, Ukrainian passport, or other documents on the kids who still had no any passport. So I believe that in Kherson region the situation now is quite similar, that people, they may receive some of them Russian passport, but they try to keep somewhere Ukrainian passport, Ukrainian documents. I don't know what exactly it Kherson, but in Crimea people did that, and let's continue discussing what is Serhiy Khlan writes about this passportization in the Kherson region. So the passportization, the partisans remind again that the passport of Russian Federation is not a document but a forgery and turns people into subhumans. So in Ukraine it will give no any rights. In addition, it is a reason to mobilize into the enemy army for the certain death. Yes, if you will get the Russian passport, you can be mobilized in Russian army, and there will be some situations that Ukrainian citizen in Kherson will fight against Ukrainian army because the Russian forces try to make of them combatants of Russian Federation. And so there will be like that, and but intelligence warns that there will be a responsibility for obtaining a passport because it is cooperation with aggressor. If Ukraine will de-evacuate this territory. Today in Henichesk, it is a city of Kherson region on the bank, on the coast of the sea. A crowd trampled to death a prison in line for a Russian pension. Russia brought its rules there, and and we see their consequences. So if some of people want to get some help from the Russian Federation, now people in Henichesk that's waiting for Ukrainian the occupation, they are quite angry with this person. So you see that really people there, they are not happy because of Russian occupation at all. I cannot say about all people of Kherson region of Henichesk, but a lot of people that didn't evacuate or stayed there, they waiting for the occupation. And for example, Stremusov, it is the person who cooperates with Russians. He continues to publish his videos from trips to Kherson region, which are embarrassing to listen to. And on the Saldo page, Saldo, it is also, this is the head of Kherson in this region, who cooperates Ukrainian, but he cooperates with Russians, and they made him the main person and who gave an orders and who are like administrative authority of Kherson region and cooperates with Russian part. So this Saldo, by the way, I can tell you that Saldo a few days ago, or maybe even a week, he died because partisans killed him. And or maybe Russian, some I don't know, some police or FSB, for example. So Saldo is not alive, and FSB officer Yeliseev is already broadcasting in full instead of him. So now Russians, they because Saldo is dead, they just make the head of the Kherson region the officer of FSB. And it is shows those situation that it is controlled by Russians FSB. It is like Federal Service of Security, if we will translate FSB of Russia. And regarding to the dates of the referendum, they have fallen silent. They loot, move into other people's houses and apartments, takes what they can, and they robbed a network of a gas station took over a college in the Novakhovka. So in Kherson region, people, they plan to make referendum to join Kherson region to Russian Federation. And for doing this, they make this fake referendum, like people make this their will to stay in Ukraine or to join Russia. And of course, this will be falsified, so it will be not truly results, because they just will paint this, numbers, this percentage of people who want to join Russia. Of course, this will be fake referendum, but anyway, for international community, for some vision, image of international laws, they will do that to show, for example, if organization of United Nations or other international organization, that actually it is Kherson people who wanted to join Russia. It's a referendum and they vote and they want to be in Russia. So what you want if they don't want to live in Ukraine? So actually we are good and Ukraine are bad. It is our territory, and you cannot any rights to point us what to do. So, of course, it will be fake. Russians there will make this voting, falsificate this voting. But anyways, that's what they did in Crimea. That's what they did in so-called Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republic. And they plan to do this, it's in September in Kherson region. And of course, because of the announced counter-strikes of Ukrainian armed forces, and if Ukraine will do this in the September, their referendum, it cannot be because it cannot happen because if you have military action, if your territory, if you're losing territory that were occupied, it is very hard to make some voting, and they now they thinking that maybe they cannot make this referendum, so they doubt of that, and that's why they trying to some Russian collaborators or Russian some propagandists or some soldiers. They try to rob people apartment. Take what they can, because they think that maybe they will escape soon from this territory, and that's what Serhiy Khlan is talking about in his information like that. But the Russians know that they are left without sufficient and timely reinforcements and food on the right bank, and every night can become the last in their life. And we support the armed forces of Ukraine and believe in victory. And we are waiting for positive news from the front and rare and beyond. And he said that glory to Ukraine. So glory to heroes, I can answer. And of course, I know that not all people support Russians on the Kherson region. And you know about that even in the Saki region of Crimea. Now there was a Ukrainian army strike on the military aircraft. In Crimea, people thought that they are completely completely safe, because Ukrainian forces have no any means to get there. They have no such distant shells to get there, but now they understood that it's not. And for Crimea, it is kind of problem now, because not people now exactly in Saki. At least in Saki, they are not sure all that their life will be continue in such a safety. So it is a problem for people from Crimea. And I remember that when I was in Crimea in 2015, the people there, they was talking about this Crimea annexion, that okay, we will be joined to Russia. We don't care to Ukraine, to Russia, but the only thing we don't want that it is war. So because we don't want war, okay, let the Crimea will be Russian territory. Okay, so they explain it to Ukrainians, for example, to people like me who actually had connections with Crimea, and I am Ukrainian, and to other people who live in Crimea, but they have relatives, some other connections, some jobs in the territory of other regions of Ukraine. They explain to their friends, to their relatives, to colleagues, that okay, our territory will be Russian, but we just don't want war. We just don't want any fights here, death here, and that was their explanation. But now, after the Saki military airport in Novofedorivka was damaged, they understand that they could be in quite dangerous situation, because in the 2015, even then I thought that Crimea is quite dangerous place, because Crimea, it's peninsula, it is like half island, so it is actually it is island, but one side of it is connected to the land, to the big land, to Ukraine. And if there will be some military actions, where you should escape, where you should evacuate, because all is surrounded by water. Okay, now Russia made that Crimean bridge, but I know that even in times of Hitler, he also, while this territory was occupied by Hitler's army, he wanted to make that bridge, and the engineers told that it is impossible, because on that part of sea could be very severe storms, very high waves, and the ground on the bottom of the sea is not good, it's not solid, it's not firm, it's like a ground of swamp, very not solid, and to put there a bridge, it is very dangerous, because it will be destroyed for a few years. So now Crimean, maybe now technologies are more, improved, and it will stay a little bit longer, but anyway, Crimean bridge is not also have also such destiny. We cannot say that it will be there for a long time. It could be destroyed by Ukrainian army, or damaged by some weather different, for example, storms, as I told you. So Crimea is quite a dangerous place, and today I listened to one person who was born in Saki, and he told about situation in Saki, about opinion of locals there, and he told that people there are quite scared. Even those who supported all this war from the Russian side, who supported Russia, now they don't feel quite safe. And for example, before I got from the Kiev to Simferopol to Crimea for for one night. You get on train in the 9 o'clock, and you in 7 or 8 o'clock you are already in Simferopol. So you just sleeping one night in train, and you are in the Crimea. So that was the route for people. And now he said that for people who want to evacuate on the territory of Ukraine, listen what they should do. They should using that Crimean bridge, they should cross this, they should get on the territory from Crimea to territory of Russia. then it is Rostov region of Russia, then they should cross the border or with Georgia or with Latvia. And you may watch on the map that Latvia, it is very far from the Rostov region of Russia, because Latvia, it is northern country, it is even more northern country than Belarus, and the Rostov, it is southern region of Russia. So you should using, I don't know, plane or train to get to Latvia, because in Georgia there is the soldiers or policemen on the custom from the Russian side, because if you crossing the border, crossing the custom, you should primarily pass the Russian side, Russian border, and then the Georgian border. And that Russian policemen, the Russian workers on the border, they very strictly, they prevent people to crossing the border from Russia to Georgia. It is very hard for Crimean people who want to evacuate to cross this border and to get into Georgia. While Georgia, it is countries next to Russia, so it is close and it is easier, but in political meaning, in the this all meaning, it is harder. So to be sure that you will evacuate, that you will able to leave the territory of Russia, you should use, for example, plane or train, I don't know, to make this long way to Latvia, and then there's more simple to cross this border, and Russians on this border, they are not that strict, they more polite, and you can cross it and get to the Latvia, and then from the Latvia you should somehow get to Ukraine. I don't know if it is possible to maybe Belarus, because Latvia and Ukraine is separated by Belarus territory, and maybe then person should go to Poland by bus, by train, by, I don't know, airplane, and then from the Poland to cross the border in, for example, Volyn or Lviv region of Ukraine from the west. So it means that you are in Crimea here, you should here in Ukraine, and you should move out from here. So you should like make a whole circle around the territory of Ukraine, again from the other side. You understand what kind of what kind of evacuation now from the Crimean territory. Well, that is my video for today. I hope you got some new information. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you like that, you may support me by like button, and or you may write me some comments under this video. I will be very pleased. What is you thinking about all this? And thank you for watching. I will end my video now, and I may say that I hope that we will see each other in the next time. Bye.